$100 at 10 different banks. You're making 20%. No one bank is.
How?
You should never pay a debt collector because the debt doesn't belong to you.
And that's the most insane thing I've heard someone say in a very long time. Maybe the most insane thing I've heard in the last 2 minutes, because the other video is pretty insane, but this is one's even more insane. This is BetterWealth Reacts. My name's Caleb Williams, and today we are going to be reacting to the TikTok investors of the world. You're just going to get my raw, honest feedback from some of these very cringy TikTok videos. So with all that, we're gonna share my screen and let's jump in.
Let me show you how I turned my initial $300 investment into well over 6 figures in a span of 2 years by simply doing
$300 over 6 figures in 2 years. I'm sitting back and waiting because this is gonna blow my mind.
Compound trading. So if you started with $300 and you grew at 2% every single day for
2% every single day, like that's easy, right?
260 days, you're going to end up with over $11,000 in your trading account. And I know you're like, okay, but that's not 6 figures.
No, I'm saying, okay, how did we just skip over the 2% every single day?
Let's take that initial investment plus the gains that we made in year one.
I promise she's selling some type of software or some type of trading thing.
And reinvest it for a second year. So we took that 11,000, almost 12,000, and we throw it back in to compound it again for a second year. We don't take out any of our profits and we keep trading for
Don't take out any of your profits for long-term 2-year thinking.
2% every single day. The second year, we end up with over 6 figures. That's over 400K compounded into your trading account. You're probably sitting there like, okay, that's cool, but I have no idea how to trade, like zero knowledge, ground level, beginner. There are softwares out there that you can leverage to actually.
Oh my goodness, you guys, this is why I'm so afraid of using things like leverage, like value leveraging, because people like her are using the same language. Oh my goodness.
Really give you those type of results being a complete beginner, having zero knowledge in the financial markets. One of them is called Monara, and I talk about it all the time on my platform. Now, here's the harsh reality of compound trading. 90% of you are not going to be strict enough to hold yourself accountable to your trading plan before you're able to see those gains and those profits in that account. And eventually, you're going to want to pull that money out before your 2 years is over. But if you think that you're disciplined enough and you're willing to stick to a trading plan that you build for yourself, or you want access to my Tuesday trading call where we take
access to the Tuesday training call,
trades together, mark up the charts together, I show you how to utilize the softwares. Shoot me a message on Instagram and drop your questions. Let me show you how I turn.
Wow, that one was crazy. The 2% a day, and of course, like, you could sign up for a training call, and I don't even know what to say. I can't believe people watch this stuff. Like, I guarantee you, they're like, people are like leaning in and be like, oh, that's so cool. And this is the problem that I think a lot of people have. She'll use words like leverage and compound interest, and she shows you math, and it's like, yeah, it's like true. It's like, yes, the math is true. Compounding 2% daily, that's incredible. Here's a plan. If you could actually do that, you should go out and get as much money as you possibly can. Like, that would be like, why doesn't she go and get millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars? Like, just go door to door and start collecting money. I don't know why maybe she's not there yet, but it's like, if you can get 2% a day, that's what you should be spending your time. You shouldn't be going on TikTok trying to convince other people that have $300 or more to lose. And when she says 90% of you aren't strict enough, that's code for saying 90% of you or more are going to lose money, or it's not going to work out for. And it's all meant to just get you in, hook you in, sell you a bill of goods. I'm shocked that this has nothing to do with crypto. It might be. I don't know, but it's just insane to me. It's insane to me that people make these videos because they're sharing like a half truth, but it's not even close. I watched this, just an FYI, I watched this video. Let me share this. This guy, I had to watch this twice because I was like, this guy's speaking so confidently, and it's insane what he's saying. So let me, without further ado, this is how, let's see how they said, these comedy sketches are so good, it's hard to tell what's real and fake anymore. So yeah, listen to this guy talking about banks and passive income. You guys are gonna laugh at this.
Here's the secret to passive income, and this is something.
Whenever someone has a secret, just be really careful. And this is coming from the guy that has secret in his subtitle of his book. Definitely for the next round of books, I'm going to change the subtitle because I just hate the word secret. It's been hijacked, and so many people use secret, and And it's like, if anyone has a secret for me, I'm running.
Thing the banks don't want you to know. When you deposit $1,000 in a bank and you're making 2% interest, you're losing money, right? Because if you put $500 at 2 different banks, you're doubling your interest.
Just listen to what he just said, and it's going to get crazier. He's saying if you're putting $1,000 in a bank and you're only making 2% interest, you're losing money. You're technically not losing money, but we'll play this out. Okay, you're only making 2%. And then he's saying this secret is so amazing. If you put $500 in 2 banks instead of $1,000 in 1 bank, you're doubling your money. I'm dead serious. Like he's saying that, and that's the most insane thing I've heard someone say in a very long time. Maybe the most insane thing I've heard in the last 2 minutes, because the other video is pretty insane, but this one's even more insane. This one's actually bad math. Like this one's not even like the girl before had the right math. She had the math right. That's all I'll say. This person doesn't even have the math right.
Think about that. This is what Chris and I have been talking about all week. If you're willing to go a step further, right? Because we're talking about passive income here.
I promise you this guy's selling something on passive income. It's like this guy and Chris, whatever the Chris guy, they've been teaching people how to have passive income by putting money in different banks and doubling your money.
Put $100 at 10 different banks. You're making 20%. No one bank is.
How? You're making 2% on the 100. And then you're making 2% on the 100 versus if you put all your money in one bank, you're making 2% of the 1,000.
It's going to give you 20%.
I hope you guys get this. I hope you guys get the math. If none of you do, please let me know. I'll gladly do a video breaking this down. But this person is not making any sense.
Right? And this is usually where I lose people because they're not willing to do the work up front. But imagine if you put $1 in 1,000 different banks, the kind of returns you'd be getting.
I'm so sorry for interrupting so often. I probably should have just let you watch the whole thing and just commented. It's insane to me that people out there, like this person's like, oh, hey, dude, I got a secret for you. Instead of putting $1,000 in one bank and only making 2%, $20, I'm going to show you how you can put $1 in each and every bank. No, a lot of people don't think about how big of a pain in the butt that would be. I just want to meet the person. I think that's a good idea. Like whoever's making that video, let's sit down and let's do the math and say, what's a 2% on $1? I'm telling you guys, it doesn't work that way. You're actually losing money because of time and fees and all that stuff. It's like, what bank is going to let you open up a bank account with $1? Again, maybe this person's fully legit and he's just totally joking around. And if so, I give you tons of props. I kind of hope that's the case. I'm kind of, as I'm thinking through, I'm like, this is so ridiculous that I bet someone just made this up. And so, yeah, we'll keep watching. We'll see if there's other videos that are worth reacting to.
Guess who's been paying off a car for 18 months of a 36-month lease and just found out what a car lease is?
No way.
That is so much money to pay to rent a car for 36 months. Are you kidding me? Oh, how didn't you know? Didn't you read the contract? I did, and I didn't understand the contract. No one's checking what I sign. They were like, here's your car. And I was like, yippee! The only thing getting me through those payments was the idea that I was going to own it at the end.
This one's funny. Yes, when you lease a car, you don't own it. I actually will make a video or probably react. I think there's a really good argument to say, especially if you're a business owner, leasing cars are actually pretty good. You get to write it off. There might be some benefits to leasing a car, but yeah, this person probably was like, wow, this is like a really great payment, because usually leases are a lot cheaper than owning because you're not owning the car. But yes, that is a bummer. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. But I think we can all laugh at that. All right, this guy, rich people don't get depressed. This one will be interesting.
You are coping. You are poor. But Gavin, rich people have depression too. You could have depression. No, they don't. I only hang out with rich people. We're all very happy. I wake up, I eat caviar, I walk around in Versace robes, and I go in the sun and do whatever I want. Don't listen to the people that are coping and tell you that money doesn't matter. I'm trying to motivate you. They're trying to get you down to their level. Don't listen to them. If I want to go to Peru tomorrow and live in the mountains and have a Peruvian wife and grow soybeans, I can do that. If I want to go to Miami and pop bottles at the club, I can do that. I have the freedom to do whatever I want. Poor people don't.
Oh boy, this guy screaming at me with a coat and his Bitcoin coin. I would love to see how he's doing now. If he might be the guy that goes all in on Bitcoin. Here's what I'll say. I'm not a big fan of the whole you're miserable because you don't have money. I know plenty of people that have money that aren't happy. A lot of times I would say money is an amplifier. I will say money solves a lot of problems, but I just think, again, if you're going at something with the wrong intention, which I don't want to judge anybody, but this kid doesn't have the right outlook on everything. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. It's very interesting that people talk that way, and people take these people serious, and these people probably make a ton of money selling you on the dream that you should be rich and you shouldn't cope and all that stuff. So it's just like, again, if anyone's selling you on this dream, just be very, very careful. Let's watch this.
This is what happens. Okay, first a little background. A couple of years back, there was a bug on Robinhood that allowed you to get infinite leverage. I ain't going to explain exactly how it worked, but I used it to get $50,000 of margin off of a $1,000 deposit. And I'm guessing you know what happened next. I bought a bunch of 0-day to expiry options and I lost it all, basically. So obviously the next logical step is to just delete the app, right? I did that. I thought I was good for like a month, right? Blocked Robinhood on my email, everything. Like 2 months go by and a dude shows up at my door with like papers. He said I would like some collection company or some shit, and it was like $75,000. Basically, this guy said if I didn't pay up, he was going to take me to court. I was like, go for it. I got nothing. I don't even got wages to garnish. In the end, I think Robinhood just like took the loss or whatever because I haven't paid him a dime.
Not legal advice, not investment advice. Man, I know this is a big thing when people were doing all these options. And this is another example of like, I know legit people that do option trading, but you should not option trade if you're not like in it and you don't understand. And the fact that this person got $50,000 on margin based off $1,000, like, is why a lot of these apps, including Robinhood, have experienced some negative press because this guy, there's no way this guy should have gotten that kind of leverage. But deleting the app doesn't delete your responsibility.
And you don't pay the debt collectors, which, by the way, to the audience, you should never pay a debt collector because the debt doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the debt collector. Let me explain this to you. If I owe Amex $1,000 and I say I refuse to pay you, right? And they sell my debt to ABC Debt Collections Company, LLC. The debt doesn't belong to James Chang anymore. The debt belongs to ABC Debt Collectors. Why should I pay a debt that doesn't even belong to me anymore? Most people get scared because debt collectors, if you don't pay, we're going to garnish your way. They get scared. No, it's against the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. You don't have to pay debt collectors.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why people put videos out like this. Like, that's not even true. It's not even true. And the fact that you're out there saying don't pay your debts, like, I'm all about strategy. There may be a world where you want to negotiate. There may be a world where you don't pay a debt collector in that time. But it's my understanding that the debt collectors don't inherit that debt. I believe many debt collectors get hired and they get paid a percentage of the debt that they close. I could be wrong on that, but I think it's dangerous to just tell people not to pay off debt.
Not going to college. I just don't think college is the right fit for me, and sports betting is where it's at. Last year, I'm not going to lie, I lost $4,000 sports gambling. Ever since I did this one strategy.
I love his how authentic he is. Like, guys, I'm not going to college. I think college is a waste of time, and sports betting is where it's at, like the upside. And just being honest with you, I lost $4,000 last year, but he's going to tell us the new strategy.
Up over like 100 units in 1 year. It's crazy to think about because all I do is just sit on my couch and watch sports. Here is a play from the other day. Kevin Durant, 6 assists, and Devin Booker, 4 made threes, 135 to pay out 3,000. It's honestly not that hard. Anyone can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
If I could do it, I'm a senior. I'm not going to college. I lost $4,000 last year. Sports betting, you can do it. I'm telling you, you know what's really interesting is a lot of people I'm seeing are like so bought into the not working. I don't want to provide any value, but I want to make money. Dude, that will dry up. All right, we'll end with this video. If you don't have a Lambo, you're a loser. All right, let's end on this video and see.
If you're a guy in your 20s and you don't have a Lamborghini, you should actually sit down and have like a serious discussion with yourself as to why you don't have a Lambo.
Yep.
Because I realize now that it's so incredibly easy and there's so much money out there, and 200 grand relative to what is out there in circulation and what you can grab, especially now with AI tools that you can leverage like never before, 200 grand is chump change. If you're a guy.
Yeah. So I think on one hand, cool to be abundant. Like there's so much opportunity to provide value in the world. There's so much opportunity to provide valuable leverage to the world. There's so much opportunity there. My biggest problem is this is all framed as if you don't have a Lambo in your 20s, you're a loser. And so it puts the whole it puts the whole goal on you, consumption, status, consumption, you, status, consumption. And I just think people are missing the point. It's like one of my big problems with trading in general is what value are you actually providing? When you trade options, yes, you could make money. You're making money in the system. Yes, you're providing someone else insurance. I get the whole free market thing. I'm just saying at the end of the day, are you actually providing value or are you just a pawn in the system? And I think there's something really beautiful when you can do work that matters, when you can do a business that matters, when you can provide actual value, when you know that like people lives are getting better for them exchanging money for what you're producing. That can be really amazing. And I think if we could train our kids, if we could train my generation to say, hey, I want to lean into like, how can I provide massive value? How can I make 100 people's lives way better and in return make my life better in the process? How cool would that be? So overall, that's my final thoughts as it relates to the TikTok investors, and just be really careful who you get advice from, and don't believe anyone, including myself. Like I sincerely mean that. Like test everything, really, really ask yourself, and be really skeptical when people are giving you advice, especially if they're giving you investment advice. Like always, this is not investment advice. It's not lawyer advice. We appreciate you. I would love if you could share, like, and subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel to help people live more intentionally. And the only way we do that is when people like you take time out of their day to help us share the message. Appreciate you.